Hi there, welcome to Luo Guide, your comprehensive companion to mastering the Luo language. Whether you're a novice or just starting your journey, this audiobook series is tailored to equip you with all the essentials you need to navigate the rich fabric of Luo communication. So, let's embark on our first lesson. Chapter 1, Greetings and Introductions. You know, saying hello and how are you might seem simple, but in Luo culture, these greetings hold immense significance. They are the first step to building connections and showing respect. Here are a few essential phrases. Can you repeat after me? Oyaore, oimore, amosi, ber, idhi nade, adhi maber, erokamano. Do you recognize any of these phrases? Why don't we go through them one by one? We're starting with oyaore. Oyaore is used to say good morning, while oimore is used to say good evening. There are literal meanings for oyaore, which means it has opened, and oimore, which means it has closed. This is to say that oyaore is simply appreciating that the earth has opened to a new day, while oimore is acknowledging that the day is closing or coming to an end. And once again, oyaore is for good morning. Oimore is for good evening. Let us proceed to amosi. This means I greet you or hi, to which you respond with ber. Ber means it's good or it's fine. And then you go ahead and ask idhi nade. Idhi nade is used to ask how are you doing, to which you respond with adhi maber. I'm doing well or I'm doing fine. And then you conclude by saying erokamano. Erokamano is a phrase used to express gratitude. Someone asking about you and how you're doing warrants you to say thank you. Don't you agree? Well, let's have an example in dialogue. Example 1 is dialogue between Achieng and Amondi. And Achieng says, Oyaore, to which Amondi replies, Oyaore, idhi nade? And Achieng says, adhi maber, erokamano. Let's have another look at example 2. Achieng says, Amosi, to which Amondi responds, ber, idhi nade? Achieng says, adhi maber, erokamano. Do you feel the warmth in these exchanges? So, are you going to role play with me? Let us role play between you and I. I, the teacher, I'll go first and I say, Oyaore, and you, the student, how do you respond? Very good. And then I say, adhi maber. Well done. From our conversational exchange, I was able to ask you good morning, to which you responded with good morning, and then you went ahead and asked me, how am I doing? To which I concluded by saying, I'm doing well. Now, let's add some spice with introductions. Can you imagine introducing yourself confidently in Luo? Well, let's have a look at some phrases. Can you repeat after me? Nyingi nga. Iya kanye. Itimo tich mane. Well done. Now let's go through their meanings one by one. Nyingi nga is simply asking, what's your name? Iya kanye is asking, where are you from? Itimo tich mane is, what work do you do? Now, I'm going to teach you how to respond to each and every one of these. If I ask you, nyingi nga, you should respond with nyinga dash. Insert your name. For example, I can say, nyinga Achieng. Nyingi nga, nyinga Achieng. Number 2, iya kanye, you respond with dash. You insert where you're coming from. For example, iya kanye, Kisumu. And number 3, itimo tich mane. You respond with your profession. For example, an japuonj. I am a teacher. Now let's role play between you and I to test your mastery. I, the teacher, I will go first and I say, nyingi nga. You, the student, you respond with nyinga dash. Please insert your name. And then I ask, iya kanye. And you, the student, respond with dash. Insert where you're coming from. Bravo! You're embracing the essence of Luo communication. But here's the fun part. Can you create a dialogue introducing yourself and exchanging greetings with a friend using what you've learned? Yes? Well, here's additional vocabulary and phrases on greetings and introduction to expand your conversational skills. Number 1, we have nango, misawa, or koro. All these can be used to express hi or hello. Number 2, we have irio nade, which means how was your day? Number 3, we have ario maber, which means my day was good. Number 4, we have to in, which means and you. Number 5, we have ichio nade, which means how have you woken? Number 6, we have achio maber, which means I have woken up well. Number 7, we have wanere bange, which means see you later. And then number 8, we have oriti, which means goodbye. Now picture yourself confidently conversing in Luo. Keep practicing and soon you will find yourself seamlessly blending into the vibrant Luo culture. Congratulations! You've completed episode 1 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we explore numbers and basic counting. Until then, keep spreading warmth with your greetings and forging connections with your introductions. Bye! Follow me at Fortina TV on TikTok and YouTube. Chapter 2: Numbers and Basic Counting. Welcome back to Luo Guide, where every episode brings us closer to unlocking the mysteries of the Luo language. Today, we shall embark on a numerical adventure as we explore numbers and basic counting. Numbers are the universal language of quantity, and in Luo, they are no different. So let's start with the foundation, counting numbers from 1 to 10. Please repeat after me. Number 1, achiel. Number 2, ario. Number 3, adek. Number 4, angwen. Number 5, abich. Number 6, auchiel. Number 7, abirio. Number 8, aboro. Number 9, ochiko. And number 10, apar. Now that you already know how to count numbers from 1 to 10 in Luo, let's add a dash of fun. Can we count from 1 to 10 in Luo? And I will count the odd numbers while you count the even numbers. Let's go! And I'm starting with achiel, adek, abich, abirio, ochiko. That was so great. Keep practicing and soon you'll be counting like a native speaker. Now let's elevate the challenge. Imagine you are in a marketplace bargaining for goods. Can you express quantities in Luo? Here are some examples of useful phrases and vocabulary that you can use. Please repeat after me. Mae pesa adi. Adwaro nyieo rabolo adek. Mia lita achiel mar chak. Pimna kilo ang'wen mar sukari. Adwaro gorogoro 9 mar mchele. Riwo. Golo. Kwano. That was very good. So let's go through them one by one. So when you ask, "Mae pesa adi?" you're essentially asking, how much is this? And when you say, "Adwaro nyiewo rabolo adek," it means, I want to buy 3 bananas. And when you say, "Mia liter achiel mar chak," it means, give me 1 liter of milk. And when you say, "Pimna kilo 4 mar sukari," it means, weigh for me 4 kilograms of sugar. And when you say, "Adwaro gorogoro 9 mar mchele," it means, I want 9 small buckets of rice. And then we have the vocabulary that says riwo, and this means add or addition. And then we have golo, and this means subtract or remove. And then lastly we have kwano, and this is numbers or counting. So let's have an example of a conversation between a buyer and a seller. So the buyer goes first and he says, "Rabolo pesadi," and this simply means he's asking how much are bananas. And then the seller can say something like, "Rabolo siling a beach," which means bananas are 5 shillings. And then the buyer can go ahead and say, "Mia rabolo auchiel," which means, give me 6 bananas. This is just a simple example. So they can go ahead and continue with the conversation, and the seller can ask something like, "Nitie gimoro kendo midwaro," and this means, do you want anything else? And the buyer can ask, "In gi chak," which means, do you have milk? And the seller can agree and say, "Idwaro marom nade," which means, yes, how much do you want? And the buyer can respond by saying, "Adwaro liter achiel," which means, I want 1 liter. And then he can go ahead and say, "Kiriwo te to biro pesadi," which means, what is the total when you add everything? To which the seller will conclude the conversation by saying, "Kariwo kwan biro siling mia achiel," which means, when I add, the total comes to 100 shillings. This is just a simple conversation between a seller and a buyer in the market. So, can you picture yourself confidently negotiating prices in Luo? It's not just about the numbers. It's about connecting with the vibrant market culture. And with that, here are some bonus numbers to learn, from 20 to 100. So we're going to start from 11 to 20. So we have 11, which is apar gi achiel. Can you repeat after me? 12, we have apar gi ariyo. 13 is apar gi adek. 14 is apar gi ang'wen. 15 is apar gi abich. 16 is apar gi auchiel. 17 is apar gi abiriyo. 18 is apar gi aboro. 19 is apar gochiko. And 20 is pier ariyo. So let's pick up with the same pace from 20 to 100. And we said 20 was pier ariyo, 30 is pier adek, 40 pier ang'wen, 50 pier abich, 60 pier auchiel, 70 pier abiriyo, 80 pier aboro, 90 pier ochiko, and 100 mia achiel. Do you find it easy to pronounce these numbers? Let me know. And with that, I say, congratulations, you have completed episode 2 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we delve into common phrases for daily life, where language meets the rhythm of everyday interactions. Keep counting and keep practicing, and let the language of numbers guide you on your journey. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. Bye. Chapter 3. Common phrases for daily life. Welcome back to Luo Guide, your passport to navigating daily life with ease in the Luo-speaking world. In this episode, we'll equip you with all the essential phrases for various everyday situations. And I'm happy to mention that some of these phrases you've studied in the previous episodes. For example, in segment 1, where we are looking at greetings and salutations, we are going to see phrases like koro or amosi, which are used to say hi or hello. Then we have idinade. If you recall, this means how are you or how are you doing? To which the person responds adhi maber, erokamano, which is I'm fine, thank you. We also have oriti, which means goodbye. Let's look at segment 2. And this is asking for information. And we are starting with a familiar phrase that we saw in episode 1, which is ia kanye. And this is to ask, where are you from? Number 2, nyingi nga, which is, what's your name? Number 3, bende iwacho dholuo, which is, do you speak Luo? Number 4, in jahigni adi, which is to say, how old are you? Number 5, ang'o mane itimo kawuono, which is to ask, what did you do today? Number 6, itimo ang'o, which is, what are you doing? Number 7, be ing'eyo, which is to ask, do you know? So, this is segment 2 of asking for information. And I want us to go through them again one by one as you answer these questions. So I'll start again. Ia kanye. Can you tell me where you're coming from? Number 2, nyingi nga. Can you please tell me your name? Number 3, bende iwacho dholuo. Can you tell me if you speak Luo or not? Number 4, in jahigni adi. Can you please tell me how old you are? Number 5, ang'o mane itimo kawuono. Can you please tell me what you did today? Number 6, itimo ang'o. Can you please tell me what you're doing at the moment? Thank you for participating. So let's move on to segment 3, where we are making requests and giving directions. Number 1, konya, which means help me. Number 2, asai, which means please. Number 3, wanere bange, which means see you later. Number 4, nuona gima iwacho, which means can you please repeat what you've just said? Number 5, chiro ni kanye, which is to say, where is the market? Number 6, en sa adi, which is to ask, what is the time? Number 7, nyisa or kona, which is to say, tell me. Number 8, racham, which means left. And number 9, rachich, which means right. Are you able to repeat all the expressions used in making requests and giving directions? Well, let's move on to segment 4, expressing emotions. And we have or kamano. We use this to express yes. And then we have or dawe, which we use to say no. Then we have aye, which means I agree. And then okaye, which means I disagree or I don't agree. And then we have amor, which is I am happy. Then we have alur, which is I am afraid or I'm scared. Then we have mos, which is sorry. And lastly, we have aheri, which is I love you. Let us proceed by expanding our conversational skills in dialogue. And we're going to have a dialogue between teacher and student. So I'll go first. I'm going to say amosi, and you as a student, I want you to say ber ahinya. Can you repeat after me? Ber ahinya. And then I proceed by asking, idhi nade? Can you answer? Adhi maber. And then I'm going to ask, itimo ango? Can you respond by saying, asomo? And then I'm going to ask, isomo ango? Can you say, asomo dholuo? And then I'm going to say, be inyalo nyisa ni en sa adi? And then I want you to respond by saying, en sa ariyo. And then I'm going to close the conversation by saying, erokamano. Now, can we go through that dialogue one more time as we get the meanings? I started by saying amosi, which means I greet you, to which you responded with ber ahinya, which is it's good. And then I asked you idhi nade, which is how are you doing, to which you responded with adhi maber, which means I'm doing fine. And then I went ahead and asked you itimo ango, which means what are you doing, to which you said asomo, which means I am reading. And then I asked isomo ango, which means what are you reading, to which you responded by saying asomo dholuo, which means I am reading Luo language. And then I said be inyalo nyisa ni en sa adi, which I asked, can you tell me what time it is, to which you responded with en sa ariyo, which means yes, it is 8 o'clock. To which I concluded with erokamano, which means thank you. Picture yourself navigating through various situations, confidently seeking assistance and expressing gratitude in Luo. Congratulations, you've completed episode 3 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we delve into family and relationships. Keep practicing these phrases and soon you'll navigate daily life in Luo with confidence and grace. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. See you next time. Bye. Chapter 4. Family and Relationships. Welcome back to Luo Guide, where every episode brings us closer to embracing the heart of Luo culture. In this episode, we'll explore the beautiful nuances of family and relationships in the Luo-speaking community. Family is the core of Luo society, and understanding familial terms is essential. So let's begin. Number 1, we have wuoro or wuon, and this is how we say father. Number 2, miyo or min. This is how we say mother. Number 3, wuoda. This means my son. Number 4, nyara. This is my daughter. Number 5, kwaro. This means grandfather. Number 6, dayo. This means grandmother. Number 7, waya. This means aunt. Number 8, nera. This means uncle. Number 9, nyamin, which means sister. Number 10, omin or owad, which means brother. Number 11, okewa, which means nephew. Number 12, nyakewa, which means niece. Number 13, chuora, which means my husband. Number 14, chiega, which means my wife. And lastly, we have jaoda, which is general to say my spouse. And with that, let us go straight to discussing family in dialogue. And we're going to start with brothers and sisters. So this is a role play between teacher and student. And I'll go first. I can say something like, An aae anyuola maduong'. An gi nyimine abich gi owete auchiel. So what this means is, I come from a big family. I have 5 sisters and 6 brothers. Can you tell me the type of family that you come from? How many sisters do you have and how many brothers do you have? For example, a student, you can answer something of this sort. An be aaye anyuola maduong'. An gi nyimine adek gi owete abiriyo. And this means I also come from a big family. I have 3 sisters and 7 brothers. Let us proceed with the discussion, and I can say, Owadwa maduong' nosekendo. Odak gi jaode Mombasa. En obila. And the translation for this is, my elder brother is married. He lives with his wife in Mombasa. He is a policeman. So, can you tell me something about your elder brother if you have one? For example, a student might be able to say, Owadwa maduong' somo e mbalariany mar Kenyatta. En e higa mar adek. Osomo bedo japuonj. And what this means is, my elder brother is learning at Kenyatta University. He is in 3rd year and he's training to be a teacher. Can we proceed and talk about sisters now? And I'll go first. Nyaminwa maduong' otedo siaya. En gi nyithindo ariyo. What this means is, my elder sister is married in Siaya. She has 2 kids. Do you have an elder sister? Is she married? How many kids does she have? For example, a student might be able to say, Nyaminwa maduong' nodhi somo loka. Nodhi e piny mar America. And what this means is, my elder sister went to study abroad. She went to America. I can also proceed to say, Nyaminwa maluwa to pod tin. En jahigni 10. And what this means is, my younger sister is still young. She is 10 years old. So, a student might be able to respond with such an answer. Nyaminwa matin odak gi dawa dala. Which means, my younger sister lives with our grandmother in the village. And that concludes our discussion for brothers and sisters. Let us proceed to discuss grandmother. And I'll go first. I can say something like, Dana ohero lemo. Olemo e kanisa mar nomiya. What this means is, my grandmother likes to pray. She goes to Nomiya church. Can you tell me something that your grandmother likes to do in Luo? For example, a student can be able to say something like, Dana ohero pur, opidho alot gi olemo. What this means is, my grandmother likes farming. She plants vegetables and fruits. Let us proceed to discussing son and daughter, and I'll go first. Wodi en jahigni adi, and I'm simply asking, how old is your son? So, a student might be able to answer this question like this. Woda en jahigni abich, which means, my son is 5 years old. And then a teacher can proceed to say, Tonyari, which means, and your daughter? And the student can answer, Nyara koro eka orwako higni ariyo, which means, my daughter just turned 2 years old. And the teacher can say something like, Woda ohero madho chak, which means, my son likes drinking milk. So, in the same spirit, can you tell me something that your child likes to do in Luo, if you have one? And you can start answering this question by saying, Woda ohero dash or Nyara ohero dash. And then you insert whatever it is that they like. That concludes our discussion for son and daughter. Let us proceed to discussing mother and father. I'll go first. Wuora en laktar Kisumu. Minwa to en ja ohala. Ouso rech e chiro Kibuye. And what I've just said means my father is a doctor in Kisumu. My mother is a businesswoman. She sells fish in Kibuye market. So, as a student, can you tell me your father's and mother's profession in Luo? And with that, we conclude our family discussions. So, can we review all the vocabulary that we've learned in this dialogue? Number 1, anyuola, which is family. Number 2, mbalariany, which is university. Number 3, obila, which means police. Number 4, laktar, which means doctor. Number 5, jaohala, which means business person. Number 6, higni, which means years. Number 7, katedo, which means marriage. Number 8, loka, which means abroad. Number 9, lemo, which means pray. And number 10, piny, which means earth or world or country. Can you practice discussing your family members under different scenarios? Picture yourself forging strong bonds of family using these examples. And with that, I say, congratulations! You've completed episode 4 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we dive into the culinary delights of Luo culture in food and dining. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. See you next time. Bye! Chapter 5, Food and Dining. Welcome back to Luo Guide, where language and culture come together to tantalize your senses. In this episode, get ready for a mouth-watering adventure as we explore the culinary delights of Luo culture. Let's dive in with some essential vocabulary. Number 1, chiemo, which is food. Number 2, san or tao, which means plate. Number 3, pi, which means water. Number 4, chumbi, which means salt. Number 5, ringo, which means meat. So let us explore some foods and drinks and examples in statements. Number 1, rabolo. This means banana. And I can say, ahero chamo rabolo motedi. This means I like eating cooked bananas. Number 2, chak, which means milk. And I can say, Brookside nigi chak mamit, which means Brookside has sweet milk. Number 3, tong, which means eggs. And I can say, Kwara ohero tong moboki, which means my grandfather likes boiled eggs. Number 4, kuon. And this is ugali. And I can say, Mama na ongeyo tedo kuon. This means my mother knows how to make ugali. Number 5, chapat. This is chapati. And I can say, chapat mit giringo mochiel, which means chapati is nice with fried beef. Number 6, rabuon. This is potato. And I can say, ahero chamo rabuon gi strungi, which means I like eating sweet potatoes with black tea. Number 7, omuogo, which is cassava. And I can say, orua nyuka mar omuogo, which means she has made cassava porridge. Number 8, nduma, which is yam. And I can say, tokna nduma e sancha, which means serve me yam in that plate. Number 9, omena, which is fingerlings or sardines. And I can say, omena osechiek, which means Omena is ready, or sardines are ready. And lastly, number 10, rech, which is fish. And I can say, ahero rech mowang, which means I like fried fish. So let's have a scenario where you're ordering food at a restaurant. So this is the dialogue between a waiter and a student. And the waiter goes, Idwaro chamo ang'o kawuono, which means, what do you want to eat today? And the student answers, Adwaro chamo chapat gi oganda, which means I want to eat chapati with beans. And the waiter can proceed to say, De igomb gimoro kendo, which means, would you like anything else? And the student says, adwaro soda mang'ich, which means, yes, I want a cold soda. So, can you answer this question? Idwaro chamo ang'o kawuono? And please insert what you want to eat by starting to say, Adwaro chamo dash. Picture yourself confidently placing your order, savoring each word as it rolls off your tongue. But wait, the feast isn't over yet. Let's explore some etiquette phrases. So after receiving your food or after you're done, you can say something like erokamano, which means thank you. Or you can compliment and say chiemo mit ahinya, which means the food was very sweet, or the food is very sweet. You can also say meda, which means add me, or atieko, which means I am done. As you express gratitude and appreciation, you become an integral part of the culinary experience. And with that, I say congratulations, you have completed episode 5 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we explore the passage of time in Time and Dates. Until then, keep savoring the flavors of Luo cuisine and let the language of food nourish your soul. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. See you next time. Bye. Chapter 6, Time and Dates. Welcome back to Luo Guide. In this episode, we'll unravel the intricacies of time and dates. So let's begin with some question phrases. Number 1, En sa adi, which means, what is the time? Number 2, Kawuono tich adi, which means, what day is it? Number 3, En tarik adi, which means, what date is it? Let's have an example in dialogue between teacher and student. And I'll go first. And I say, En sa adi, and I'm just asking, what is the time? And the student answers, En sa ariyo ginus, which means it is 8:30. I just want you to note that time is read differently in Luo. And then I conclude by saying, erokamano. Can you go through that again? En sa adi. Can you answer? En sa ariyo ginus. And then I say, erokamano. So I want us to proceed to learning days of the week. And we're starting with Wuok Tich, which is Monday. Can you please repeat after me? Wuok Tich. Then we have Tichariyo, which is Tuesday. Can you say Tichariyo? Then we have Tichadek, which is Wednesday. Then Tichangwen, which is Thursday. Then we have Tichabich, which is Friday. Then Ngeso, which is Saturday. Then Sunday is called Chieng Odira or Jumapil. Now let us go through the days of the week one more time as we make statements with them. So for example, we have Wuok Tich. I can say something like, Aboyao duka chieng Wuok Tich, which means I'll open the shop on Monday. Then we have Tichariyo, which I can say, Kawuono Tichariyo, which means today is Tuesday. Then we have Tichadek, and I can say, Kiny Tichadek, which is tomorrow is Wednesday. Then we have Tichangwen, which is Wadhie bura Tichangwen, which means we go for a meeting on Thursday. Then we have teacher beach, which says Oloro teacher beach, which means he closes on Friday. And then we have Ngeso, and I can say Bi Ilima Ngeso, which means come and visit me on Saturday. And then lastly we have Chieng Odira or Jumapil, and I can say Wadhi Elemo Jumapil, which means we are going to church on Sunday. Are you able to describe your itinerary for the week? What activities do you partake in from Monday to Sunday? Please let me know. So next I want us to proceed to learning the months of the year. Do you remember how we learned numbers from 1 to 20? Learning months of the year is very simple. For example, when I say Dwe mar achiel, that is used for January. And then Dwe mar ariyo, that is February. And then Dwe mar adek, that is for March. Dwe mar ang'wen, April. Dwe mar abich, May. Dwe mar auchiel, June. Dwe mar abiriyo, July. Dwe mar aboro, August. Dwe mar ochiko, September. Dwe mar apar, October. Dwe mar apar gachiel, November. And finally, Dwe mar apar gariyo for December. So I want us to go through the months of the year one more time as we make statements with them. For example, I can say, Piny liet ahinya dwe mar achiel. What this means is, it is really hot in January. And I can say, Valentine's en dwe mar ariyo, which means Valentine's is in February. And then, koth chako chwe dwe mar adek, which means the rain starts in March. And then, wachako pitho dwe mar ang'wen, which is we start planting in April. Adhi sikul dwe mar abich, which means I'm going to school in May. Then, waboyudo welo dwe mar auchiel, which means we shall have visitors in June. And then, koyo ng'ich dwe mar abiriyo, which means it is cold in July. Then we have wakeyo dwe mar aboro, which means we shall harvest in August. And then onyuola dwe mar ochiko, which means I am born in September. And then inyuome dwe mar apar, which is she is getting married in October. And then wadhi dala dwe mar apar gi achiel, which means we are going home in November. And lastly, Christmas en dwe mar apar gariyo, which is Christmas is in December. Can you tell me what month you're born in Luo? And with that I say, congratulations, you've completed episode 6 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we describe people and things. Until then, embrace the rhythms of time, celebrate life moments, and let the language of dates and time guide you on your journey. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. See you next time. Bye. Chapter 7. Describing people and things. Welcome back to Luo Guide. In this episode, we'll take a deep dive in describing people and things in vivid detail. Imagine yourself standing in the bustling Nairobi CBD, surrounded by colors and characters. Let's begin by mastering description. Can you repeat this vocabulary after me? Number 1, rabora. Nyadundo. Odhero. Chwe. Raracha. Ber. Yom. Oti. Nyien. Olil. Do you recognize any of these words? Now let us go through them one more time as we get their meanings and examples in statements. And we started with rabora, which is tall. For example, aneno wuoyi marabora, which means I have seen a tall boy. Number 2, nyadundo, which is short. For example, aneno nyako manyadundo, which means I have seen a short girl. Number 3, odero, which is slim. For example, jalcha odero, which means that guy is thin. Number 4, chue, which is fat. For example, mamacha chue, that woman is fat. Number 5, raracha, which is used for saying ugly. For example, gini raracha, to say this thing is ugly. And then we have ber, which is good. For example, gini ber, which is this thing is good. Number 7, we have yom, which is soft. For example, chapat yom, which means chapati is soft. Number 8, oti, which is old. For example, kwaru oti, which is grandfather is old. Then we have nyien, which is new. For example, simu manyien, which is new phone. And lastly, we have olil, which is dirty. For example, ot olil, which means dirty house. Now let's add some depth to our description by incorporating emotions and personality traits. For example, number 1, I can say more, which means happy. And I can describe that guy is happy. And I will say jalcha or more. Can you say the same? Jalcha or more, which means that guy is happy. Number 2, sin, which is used to say sad. For example, I can say that girl is sad. And I would say something like nyakocha or sin. Can you repeat that after me? Nyakocha or sin. Number 3, we have ger, which is used for angry. For example, we can say that dog is angry. And then we can say in Luo, guogcha ger. Do you find it easy to say these descriptions? Please let me know. And with that, let us explore colors. And we have rakwar. Can you say after me? Rakwar, rabuor, ratong, ralum or majan, rachar, rambulu, and rateng. Now, I want us to go through the colors one more time as we get their meanings and examples in sentences. For example, we started with rakwar, which is used for red. For example, anagelau marakwar, which means I have a red cloth. Number 2, rabur, which is brown. For example, lo rabur. This is brown soil. Number 3, ratong, which is used to say yellow. For example, rabolo maratong, which is a yellow banana. Number 4, ralum or majan, which is green. For example, jalcha or wakosati maralum, which means that gentleman is wearing a green shirt. Number 5, rachar, which is white. For example, kelna karatas marachar, which means bring me white paper. Number 6, rambulu, which is blue. For example, nam rambulu, which means the ocean is blue. And lastly, rateng, which is black. For example, anenombura marateng ti, which means I have seen a very black cat. So tell me, what is your favorite color? Do you know its name in Luo? Please let me know. And with that, I say, congratulations! You've completed episode 7 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we navigate the twists and turns of the landscape in directions and locations. Until then, immerse yourself in the art of description. Let your world paint vivid pictures and embrace the boundless possibilities of storytelling. See you next time. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. Bye! Chapter 8, Directions and Locations. Welcome back to Luo Guide. In this episode, will equip you with knowledge to navigate the landscape with confidence using directions and locations. Imagine yourself standing at a crossroads, surrounded by sights and sounds of the bustling city. Let's embark on our journey by learning essential phrases for direction and locations. Can you repeat after me? Kanye, kure, kune, chiro ni kanye, nyime, mbele, chien, racham, rachich, chiegni, bor, yo. Now let us go through them one more time as we get their meanings in English. So kanye, kure or kune is asking where. And when I say chiro ni kanye, I'm asking where is the market. When I say nyime or mbele, it means in front. And then chien means behind or back. Racham means left. Rachich means right. Chiegni means near. Bor means far. Yo means way or road. Let us have an example in dialogue between a traveler and a local. So the traveler says, Chiro ni kanye, and he's asking, where is the market? And the local responds, Chiro ni chien kacha, which means the market is behind. And the traveler says, erokamano, which is to say, thank you. So let us delve deeper into locations by exploring landmarks and points of interest. For example, hospital ni kanye, and I'm asking, where is the hospital? Or sikul ni kanye, which is, where is the school? Or aora ni kanye, which is to ask, where is the river? Let's have an example in dialogue. A traveler is asking, Nyisa yo madhi e aora, which means, tell me the way to the river. And the local can answer, Dhi gi nyime kasto ibar racham, which means, go ahead, then branch on your left. But wait, there is more to discover. Let's uncover some phrases for giving and receiving directions. For example, bar racham is turn left. Dhi tir means go straight. Bar rachich means turn right. Chung ka means stand or stop here. Lor ka means board off here. So, can you confidently give and receive directions in Luo? Please let me know. And with that I say, congratulations, you've completed episode 8 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we prioritize your well-being in health and medical terms. Until then, keep exploring, keep navigating, and let the language of directions lead you on your journey. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. See you next time. Bye. Chapter 9. Health and Medical Terms. Welcome back to Luo Guide. In this episode, we'll delve into essential health and medical terms that are a must-know for your well-being. So let's begin by learning essential health-related phrases. Number 1, Ango marach is to ask, what's wrong? Number 2, Hospital ni kanye, which is to ask, where is the hospital? Number 3, Ere laktar, which is, where is the doctor? Number 4, Yath en pesadi, which is to ask, how much is the medicine? Number 5, Ituo, which is to ask, are you sick? Number 6, Atua hinya, which is to say, I am very sick. Number 7, Rem. This vocabulary means pain. Now let us have an example in dialogue between a doctor and patient. And the doctor will ask, Ango marach, which, if you remember, is what's wrong? And the patient says, Atuo, I am sick. And the doctor says, Ango marami, which is to ask, what is ailing you or what is paining you? And the patient says, Wiyabara, which is to say, I have a headache. Can you feel the reassurance of being able to communicate your health concerns effectively in Luo? Now, let's explore some common symptoms and ailments. Number 1, wich bar, which is headache. Number 2, ich kach, which is stomach ache. Number 3, yamo. This is to say boil or boils. Number 4, ahonda. This is used to describe a cough. Now picture yourself describing your symptoms accurately to receive appropriate medical care. So let's learn the body parts to enhance your descriptions. Can you please repeat after me? Wich, wang, dhok, it, lwedo, tielo, pat tielo, ich, tok. Now, let us go through all this vocabulary again as we get their meanings in English. For example, wich is head, and I can say wich bar, and this is to say headache. Number 2, wang, which is eyes, and I can say wengenelit. This is to say his or her eyes are painful. Number 3, used to say nose. For example, uma okuot, and this is to say my nose is swollen. Number 4, dhok, and I can say mouth. For example, dhoga opong, which means my mouth is full. Number 5, it, which is ears, and I can say otucho ite, which is she has pierced her ears. Number 6, lwedo, which is hands, and I can say jalcha nigi lwedo motur, which is to say that guy has a broken hand. Number 7, tielo, which is leg. I can say tiende otur, which is to describe his or her legs is broken. And then pat tielo is foot. For example, pat tienda okuot. This is to say my foot is swollen. And number 9, ich. This is stomach. For example, engi ich mokuot. And this is to say he or she has a swollen stomach. And lastly, tok, which is back. And I can say Rwana toka, which is massage my back. I hope that these phrases and words can help you confidently describe your symptoms in Luo. And with that I say, congratulations, you've completed episode 9 of Luo Guide. Join us next time as we explore the lighter side of life in leisure activities and hobbies. Until then, prioritize your health, empower yourself with knowledge, and let the language of wellness guide you to a brighter tomorrow. Follow me at Fortina TV on YouTube and TikTok. See you next time. Bye! Chapter 10. Leisure Activities and Hobbies. Welcome to the final episode of Luo Guide, where we celebrate the beauty of leisure activities and hobbies that enrich our lives. Let's start with the essential phrases for expressing hobbies and interests. Number 1. Ihero timo ang'o? What do you like to do? Ahero miel. I like dancing. Ahero wer. I like singing. Ahero somo. I like reading. Ahero tedo. I like cooking. Can you please share with me what you like to do? What are your hobbies and interests? Ihero timo ang'o? Let me know. So, now let us explore some popular leisure activities and hobbies. And we are starting with lupo, which is fishing. Goyo abal or kwang, which is swimming. Goyo adula, which is football. Pur, which is farming or gardening. Goyo picha, which is photography. Now let us have an example in dialogue between teacher and student. And I'll ask, Ihero timo ango? And I'm asking, what do you like to do? And mention what you like to do. For example, you can say, Ahero somo, which means I like reading. And I can ask, Isomo ango? Which is, what are you reading? And you can answer and say, Asomo book miluongo ni Luo Guide, which means I am reading a book called Luo Guide. Now, picture yourself immersing in these activities, finding joy and relaxation in your favorite pastimes. But wait, there is more. Let's explore expressions of enjoyment and enthusiasm. For example, I can say mielmet, which is to say dancing is fun. Goyo abal ber, which is to say swimming is good. And amor, which is to say I'm happy. And lastly, itimo maber, which is to say you did well. Feel the excitement and positivity as you engage in leisure activities with others. And with that, I say congratulations, you've completed the final episode of Luo Guide. Thank you for joining me in this adventure, and may the language of Luo continue to enrich your experiences for years to come. Follow me on TikTok and YouTube at Fortina TV. Until next time, bye! This audiobook is protected by copyright law and may not be reproduced or distributed in any form without prior permission of the copyright owner. For permission inquiries, please contact fortinatv@gmail.com.